Everyone tells you the same thing when you start an Etsy shop. Pick a niche, go all in. And that advice is fine, but it's not the only way. And that's why a lot of you have been watching YouTube videos for 3 months trying to find the perfect thing to sell instead of just listing something. Right now, shops under a year old are making thousands of sales in 3 completely different ways. One of them has 944 listings and sells Halloween bingo next to end-of-life planners. A third has gotten over 11,000 sales in 11 months. 3 completely different strategies, all of them working. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Lucretia. I've spent the last 3 years selling digital products on Etsy as a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I've also worked with 2,573 Etsy sellers in my mentorship program, The Sales Sprint. So I've watched all 3 of these approaches work, and I've watched all 3 fail. In this video, I'm breaking down the 3 types of Etsy shops working right now. I'll show you the real shops so you can check the numbers yourself. And I'll tell you the one thing most people get wrong when they try to copy this, because each one of these costs you something very specific. And most people pick the one they can't afford. So let's start with the one you've probably been told to create. This is the expert shop. Now, the expert shop picks one product type and goes all in. Not a category, a product. Invitations, spreadsheets, clip art. One thing done better than everyone else. And while I see this type of shop fail often, it can work. So let me show you 2 shops doing it right now. This shop is 11 months old, over 4,100 sales, and only 58 listings. Looking at her shop categories, we can see she only has wedding website templates and save the date website templates. Now let's do some math. 4,100 sales across 58 listings, that's an average of 71 sales per listing. And hold on to that number because we're gonna come back to it later. And when we look at her prices, we can see that these aren't 99-cent digital products either. They're priced from $9 to $19. She's priced higher so her products feel more premium. This makes customers feel more confident they'll get their money's worth. Now let's look at this second shop. This one's been on Etsy for a year, 49 listings, 4,900 sales. If we look at her shop categories, we can see their budgets and trackers. Every single one of these is a spreadsheet. She is not selling 12 different products. She's selling one product 12 different ways. That's the expert shop. You're not limited to one listing. You go deep on one format and build out every version that customer could need. 4,900 sales across 49 listings, that averages out to 100 sales per listing. And her prices run from $2 all the way up to nearly $30. So someone can come into her shop and grab the entry-level spreadsheet while someone else buys the premium version. My student Lauren does this same thing, and she explained why it works. Her $3 guidebook keeps bringing people back to buy her more expensive products. The cheap product isn't the money. It's how you create repeat buyers. So both of these shops are under 18 months old. Both have less than 100 digital products, and both are averaging over 50 sales per listing. That's the expert shop working exactly how it's supposed to. But here's what nobody tells you about. The expert shop is a bet. You are betting on day one, before you've ever made a single sale, that you picked the right product. The first shop bet on wedding websites, and she was right. The second shop bet on spreadsheets, and she was right too. And I can show you both of these shops because they were right. The sellers who made that same bet on the wrong product, I can't show you those shops. They don't have 4,000 sales for me to screenshot for you. I've had people join my mentorship program, The Sales Sprint, with over 100 invitations in their shop and only 3 sales. And unfortunately, that's what I see most of the time when beginners try to create an expert shop. Because here's the thing about a shop like this. The sellers who get this right, it usually isn't their first try. They likely have other shops. They already know what sells, so they're not guessing like you would be. They already know how to price their products, how to make listing photos, how to write descriptions, how to do SEO. They are cashing in on the experience they've already learned. So the real question isn't whether this works. It's, do you already know for a fact that the one product you choose will sell. If you do, then this is probably your shop. But if you don't, keep watching, because there are 2 other types of shops that don't ask you to be right from day one, but they do ask you for something else. Now let's move into the type of shop that I don't hear many people talking about, and that is the audience shop. This one doesn't niche by product, it niches by person. You pick who you're selling to, then make whatever type of product that person needs, no matter the format. This is the type of Etsy shop I have that's made me over $30,000 and still continues to make me sales to this day, even though it's completely neglected. But I want to be really clear, because here's where most new Etsy sellers get stuck. Invitations is a product. The mom planning her kid's first birthday party is the audience. One of those will box you in from day one. The other one never runs out of product ideas. Here's the first example. This shop is just 10 months old, 100 listings, 7,300 sales. Now at first glance, this could look like an expert shop. Journal bundles, yearly pages, monthly trackers, that all looks like one type of product. But if we keep scrolling, we can see they also have ADHD cleaning planners, a tooth fairy receipt, and other types of digital products. So what is this shop actually about? It's about the person who prints things and wants to create their own journal. That's the customer they want to serve. And once you know that's your customer, you're not limited to journal pages anymore. You can make anything that person would want to print. Now, her prices range from 38 cents to $2.64. With 7,300 sales across 100 listings, that's about 73 sales per listing. Now, the second example is 11 months old, 306 listings, 11,500 sales. Her shop includes mostly invites and birthday bundles. Each one is about the person and the occasion, not just the product. That's why her products may seem all over the place. Envelope liner templates, treat bag toppers, hand sanitizer labels, diaper raffle cards, digital invitations with RSVP tracking. Those are 5 completely different products, but they all serve the same customer, somebody throwing a party. Her prices run from 80 cents up to $76 for custom work. 11,500 sales across 306 listings, that's about 38 sales per listing. Now let's put these side by side. We had an expert shop that was averaging 71 sales per listing. Now we have an audience shop that's averaging 73 sales per listing. Pretty much the same number, but 2 completely different strategies. So all this talk about how you have to niche down or you won't sell anything, the math does not back that up. You can go narrow with a product or wide with an audience and still land in the same place. That's the thing about the audience shop. Your ceiling isn't capped by one product. When you know who you're selling to, there's always another thing to make for them. So you can keep adding listings for years without ever running out of product ideas. The expert shop asks you to be right about the product. The audience shop only asks you to be right about the person. And people are a lot easier to be right about. Parents throwing birthday parties aren't going away. Brides aren't going away. People with ADHD who need systems are not going away. So if you don't know for a fact what your one winning product is, then this may be the shop for you. You don't have to know the product. You just have to know who you're making it for. But there is a third type, and this one doesn't ask you to know either. I call this the lab shop. You don't pick a niche. You don't pick an audience. You list a lot of different things. You watch what sells, and you let the data tell you what your shop is. Here's the first example. 1 year on Etsy, 944 listings. Look at the categories: games and bingo, sports, trackers and logs. If we scroll the listings, we see different types of bingo, an employee attendance tracker, football squares, an ADHD cleaning bundle. All of this is in one shop. That tells you they're just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it's working for them, 7,700 sales. But we'll compare the numbers to the other shops here in a bit. Now the second example is 10 months old, 378 listings, 3,700 sales. In this shop, we see a teacher planner next to a kids ADHD bundle sitting next to a wedding binder. Now here's the part I want you to actually look at. End of life planner is in both shops. ADHD cleaning products, both shops. Home management binder, in both shops. These are two different sellers. They both started these shops about 10 to 14 months ago with no niche, and they both ended up selling the same 3 things. They did not guess these products. They found them. That's the whole idea behind the lab shop. You're not trying to be right up front. You are running experiments. Now to the math. The first shop example in this category has 7,700 sales across 944 listings. That's about 8 sales per listing. The second shop example has 3,700 sales across 378 listings. So that's about 10 sales per listing. Compare that to the 71 and 100 for the expert shops and 73 and 38 for the audience shops. So most of the listings in this category sell nothing, and that's the deal. In a lab shop, the vast majority of what you're going to make is going to fail. And you have to be okay with that because you only need a handful of winners and you are learning skills along the way. And their prices are low too. Shop 1 ranges from $1.15 to $8.20. Shop 2 ranges from 99 cents to $12. So 7,700 sales is one of the larger numbers we've seen in this video. But at under $3 a product, it's not more money than the wedding website template shop that's doing about 4,000 sales at $19. So here's what the lab shop actually costs you. 944 listings in 14 months. That's more than 2 listings a day, every single day, for over a year if you take 0 days off. The other shop did 378 listings in 10 months. Still more than 1 a day, every day. The expert shop asks you to be right. The lab shop asks you to be relentless. And that's the trade. You don't need to know what sells. You don't even need to know who you're selling to, but you do need to show up and list over and over long enough for the data to tell you something. So that's 3 types of shops, all around a year old, all making sales. Now, here's the part most people get wrong when they try to copy this, because every single one of these costs you something and nobody tells you that up front. The expert shop costs you certainty. You have to be right about this one product before you have any proof. We saw a shop that was right about wedding website templates and another shop that was right about spreadsheets, but they were right. And if you're brand new, you don't really know what to be right about because you're guessing. That's how you end up with 100 invitations in your shop and only 3 sales. The lab shop costs you volume. 944 listings in 14 months. Over 2 listings a day, every day, no weekends off. And most of what you make will sell almost nothing. 8 sales per listing. You have to be okay with making multiple products that flop to find the few that don't. And the audience shop costs you the least. You don't have to be right about a certain type of product, and you don't have to list every single day. You just have to know who you're making your products for. So here's what I actually want you to do. Don't try to pick the right shop on day 1. That's the trap. That's what has you sitting there for 3 months Googling what digital products sell best instead of listing something. Start as a lab shop. Make different types of products. Try a planner, try a game, try a tracker, try an invitation. You're not committing to any of it. You're running tests. Nobody is watching and nothing is permanent. And I know that sounds like the complete opposite of what everyone is telling you to do on Etsy, but I've seen this work many times in the sales sprint. My student Carla didn't make a single sale for 2 months. And by her own description, she was all over the place and didn't know what to sell. Then people started buying her handprint art crafts. She then said, "My niche actually found me." When she wrote that, she was at 685 sales. She's now at 1,600 sales in a little over a year. She didn't start with a niche. She started with tests, and the data told her who her customer was. That's how I ended up where I am too. I didn't sit down and decide to make Canva templates for people with ADHD. I listed an ADHD cleaning bundle and it just happened to take off. So I followed the data and made more products for that person. And that's the process I walk you through in the sales sprint. We follow the data to find profitable digital product ideas. And once something takes off, we become an audience shop so we can make more sales per listing without needing 500 plus digital products in our shop. There is more than one way to make sales on Etsy. The people telling you that the only way to win on Etsy is to niche down is the reason you're probably stuck and haven't even started yet. You don't have to know your niche. You don't have to know your product. You just have to start listing and let your customers tell you what they want. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but where do I actually start? I got you. In this video, I'm breaking down how I got my first 100 sales in just 35 days. And I did it the lazy way. So go ahead and watch this one next.